Hi everyone, welcome to the next foil review, and today we're going to talk about Levitaz's Transformer Wave and Foil Board. First off, it's actually great to see that more and more brands are bringing out boards like this. This is actually, like in the old days, we used to basically only modify our surfboards, so we'd have a 2-in-1 board. So actually most foil boards in the beginning were all modified surfboards. And the great thing about having a board like this is being able to only have one board when you're traveling. Obviously, you want a board that will work really well in waves and as a foil board, which in recent times, there hasn't been a very good compromise. So, besides the board, what do you get? Well, when you open the box, you get this nice little pack where you will find your foot straps, your tools, the mounting screws, and a small instruction booklet. And you'll also get your FCS fins. So let's talk specs. The board is 5'1", that's 155 centimeters. For us Europeans, it has a volume of 25.7 liters. It's 19 inches wide and about 5 centimeters thick. When you buy this board, you have the choice of mounting the front pads if you want to or not. You get actually 3 different sections, sort of this back middle section and the complete front section. The back pad comes mounted as standard. You get your standard leash mount on the back, and the fin mounts are FCS1. If you generally look at the shape, it is a very square shape. Very wide tail, very wide nose, with the outline being very straight carried all the way almost to the foot off on the nose. The rocker, if you can see this, is very flat. There's almost no rocker in the back, very little, and very little scoop in the front. So this generally makes this board very great in light wind. Besides being a foil board, I mean, it obviously makes sense that a foil board with a very flat rocker with this width will obviously get you on the foil pretty early, but also if you're using it without the foil, what I noticed, this board hammers upwind and gets planing very early. So for wave riding, that'll actually get you back to the peak very, very quickly. Actually, this is probably one of the best wave boards to get back up to the peak that I've been on. I normally ride a Firewire Evo as my own personal board, and it takes me a lot longer to get back upwind with that than this board did. You have the choice of riding this board strapless or with straps. You have a lot of strap options on here. If you want to ride this board 2-strap, you can. If you want to ride it single strap in the front, you can. On the back, you have your normal positions. I prefer this board strapless, but then again, I ride wave boards predominantly strapless, and I rarely would use straps on the waves. The foil has one position on here. I personally would have preferred tracks to be on a board like this, but I can understand that to save weight, it's easier to install the inserts. They are quite strong inserts. They're for M8 screws, so you're having a very solid connection to the board. Some other manufacturers use M6, which I personally think is slightly underdimensioned, so this is actually a very good thing. So let's talk about how the Transformer works as a foil board. It's very big, it's very wide, has got a lot of volume, so it will get you up and going very easily. It is also very forgiving when touched down, So when you're learning touchdown jibes, touchdown tacks, all these things, it'll keep playing on the water, won't get stuck, and it'll give you time to switch your feet safely, and then it's quite easy to release from the water to get back up. How does the board work without the foil? Well, I was actually quite surprised how well the board worked. A lot of hybrid boards tend to work really well as either foil boards or as surfboards. Obviously, it's not a full-on wave board, and I would say the perfect wave height for this is from flat water to about, let's say, 6 feet, and after that, the waves will probably be a bit too big. So how does it ride as a wave board? Surprisingly good. Usually, a lot of the hybrid boards tend to not work very well as wave boards, and this did quite good. Even though it has a very flat rocker, it still manages to turn quite well. You gotta remember this board is actually very wide with 19 inches and a very, very wide tail. However, I still had quite a lot of fun in small waves. I'd say anything up to 6 foot, it's great. You cannot expect it to do a really sharp turn. It just does not have the rocker in the tail to do this, plus the tail being very wide. But for sort of a more of a skatey style or large drawn out turns in smaller waves, it's really good. It throws a lot of spray. The rail actually grips really well. I was thinking before, with the rail being quite thin, that it wouldn't have a lot of grip on the wave face, but it does. I enjoyed quite a lot hitting the cutbacks quite hard. It didn't break out at the top, and that was quite good. On waves like in Cotillo, which close out very quickly, sometimes I got pounded a bit as I couldn't just quite get that bottom turn as tight as I wanted to because of the very wide tail. Jumping it for freestyle type, for strapless freestyle is quite good. That sort of flat rocker early planing is great. Also the wide area, when you pop it up into the air, it stays on your feet quite well. The option of having the foot pad all the way along is great. The foot pad's actually fairly good high quality with the diamond pattern. So it gives you a lot of grip even when going strapless. I personally, a disclaimer, I didn't try it with straps. I ride only strapless in the waves and so on. Just don't have another knee injury. But in theory, it should work exceptionally well with straps. The construction looks like your typical sandwich construction. It'll be fairly strong. It did start denting in a little bit under the heels here a little bit, which is fairly normal for a wave board. But it is, just expect that as you ride the board for a longer time, you will start getting a sort of like a heel groove under your heels of your front feet. But this happens to most of my wave boards too. So that's the recap. Levitaz have made a very good hybrid board. It works really well as a foil board. It is a bit big, so it might be a bit big for some people, especially because of the 49 centimeter width. Without the foil, it works amazingly well, especially if you're actually using more of a light wind, sort of freestyle, wave freestyle board, strapless freestyle board. It's great. It hammers up wind. It is super light wind oriented in that respect. And for small waves up to about 6 foot, you're sorted. I hope this video helped you make a decision on the Levitaz transformer. Remember, if you like our videos, please click subscribe, leave us a comment. If you'd like to be notified, click on the little bell icon to get notifications so you get an email next time we upload a video. All right, see you next time. Have fun on the water. Rock on.